5 years ago, someone bought a gaming PC for $1,500. Just the tower. Simple math, 1,500. But when they actually looked at what they'd spent, electricity, replacement parts, new peripherals, small upgrades here and there, the real number was over $4,200. Not a typo. That's the PC. That's the actual cost. So what does it actually cost to own and maintain a gaming PC over its full lifespan? Not the sticker price, the real price, the one with everything in it. By the end of this video, you'll understand the hidden costs that sit beyond the sticker price. You'll know how long a PC stays viable before upgrades feel genuinely necessary. You'll see how the true cost compares to console gaming and cloud alternatives. And you'll be able to calculate your actual cost per hour of play. Let's start with the most obvious lie, the $1,500 PC. When someone quotes that price, they're counting the GPU, the CPU, the motherboard, RAM, and the SSD. That's it. But a functioning PC needs a power supply, $80 to $180, a case, $60 to $200, a CPU cooler, $30 to $150, a monitor, $200 to $400, a keyboard, a mouse, a headset. Suddenly that $1,500 system is closer to $1,800, $1,900, even $2,000. The headline number is 30% too low, maybe more.
In 2024, a mid-range machine that plays modern games at 1440p with 100 frames per second costs $2,500 to $1,500. A 4K rig that maintains high settings runs $2,500 to start. And if you're chasing 240 frames per second or heavy ray tracing effects, you're looking at $3,500 to $4,500. These categories keep shifting upward as players expect higher frame rates every generation. The GPU is where the money lives. An RTX 4090 alone costs $1,600 to $2,000. And that's 45 to 60% of a high-end system's entire price tag. Even mid-range cards like the RTX 4070 Super run $600 to $700. The GPU is the first place to cut costs, and the last place you actually get to cut them, because it dictates what resolution and frame rate you're actually capable of hitting. But high-end GPUs generate 450 watts or more of continuous heat. Managing that is what we call the thermal envelope, the combination of the GPU's heat output and the cooling system required to safely dissipate it. That envelope requires radiators, fans, sometimes liquid loops, costing $100 to $350 on their own. And that's not the end of the cooling story.
Your monitor isn't just a peripheral, it's the ceiling on your entire purchase decision. A 1080p monitor running 60 Hz might cost $120 to $180. And a machine paired with that display can stay viable for 7 years or more. The refresh rate and resolution you choose on that screen ripple backward through your entire PC's upgrade timeline. A 4K monitor running 165 Hz costs $400 to $800, and it demands GPU upgrades every 2 to 3 years, because your high-end GPU from year 1 will struggle to hit that frame rate by year 3. The display is a hidden cost amplifier. It makes you upgrade more often than you otherwise would. Which brings us to the next invisible line item, electricity. A mid-range gaming PC draws 400 to 600 watts during play. A high-end system hits 750 to 900 watts. If you're running a 600-watt system 4 hours a day, you're spending $35 to $50 every month just on electricity. That's at the US average of 13 cents per kilowatt hour. But regional variation is extreme. California costs 50 to 100% more. Cheaper regions cost half as much. Over 5 years at 4 hours daily, power costs alone reach $2,100 to $3,000. That's nearly equivalent to the PC's purchase price. And this cost doesn't decline as your hardware ages. Older hardware draws the same watts for less performance. Your efficiency actually gets worse each year. Geography creates a brutal cost swing. A PC running in Louisiana might accumulate $2,100 in power expenses over 5 years. The exact same machine in Hawaii accumulates $4,200. Geography alone can double or halve the total cost of ownership.
The cooling system degrades on its own schedule. Thermal paste dries out, AIO pumps slow down, Dust clogs the fins of CPU and GPU coolers. All of this reduces cooling efficiency by 5 to 20% every 2 to 3 years without maintenance. And your older hardware has to work harder, draw more watts to keep operating temperatures safe. The power bill compounds. You have to open your case every 3 to 6 months and clean out the dust that settles on your GPU and CPU cooler fins. Neglect this, and you'll lose 10 to 30% of your performance before you even realize it's happening. It's a maintenance tax most PC owners don't budget for. When a GPU hits maximum safe temperature, it automatically reduces its clock speed to lower the heat output. This is called thermal throttling. It cuts frame rates by 15 to 30%. It's the first visible sign that your cooling system needs maintenance or a component replacement. Now for the upgrade treadmill. NVIDIA and AMD release flagship GPUs every 18 to 24 months with 25 to 40% performance gains. A card that maxes out 2022 AAA titles at 1440p high settings struggles to maintain 100 frames per second in 2024 releases at the same quality. The pressure to upgrade is constant. Every 3 to 4 years, you're seriously considering a new card.
Each GPU upgrade costs $400 to $2,000 for the new hardware, but the old card you're replacing depreciates. A card worth $800 at launch might resell for $300 to $500 2 years later. The true cost of upgrading every 3 years is $800 to $1,500 in depreciation per cycle. Multiply that over a PC's life, and it's enormous. CPU and motherboard upgrades are less frequent. A Ryzen 7000 or Intel 13th generation chip from 2022 still handles modern games in 2024. But when the upgrade does come, it forces a motherboard replacement, $150 to $250, and often DDR5 RAM, $100 to $300. A single CPU upgrade becomes a $300 to $600 event. Used hardware market saturation directly affects your upgrade economics. When NVIDIA launches a new flagship, every existing owner tries to sell simultaneously. Prices crash. Used cards flood the market at 50% discount. New buyers who can't justify a $1,600 card find themselves trapped. A used alternative is now cheaper than the new card they wanted to buy. Some players upgrade annually or every 18 months. Streamers, content creators chasing peak performance parity. Others hold for 5 to 6 years and accept gradual performance slides. There's no objective optimal cycle, but the psychological pressure to upgrade is constant and deliberately amplified by marketing. Switching from NVIDIA to AMD costs you more than just the hardware. You learn new software. GeForce Experience becomes Radeon Adrenaline. Driver behavior is different. The interfaces are different. This switching cost, $50 to $100 in lost productivity, keeps many users locked into one vendor, even when competitors offer objectively better value. The gaming industry continuously raises frame rate expectations. This is frame rate creep. 60 frames became 100 frames, 100 became 240, always moving faster than hardware efficiency improves. It makes older systems feel inadequate, even though game requirements haven't technically changed. It's a psychological treadmill, not a technical constraint. But beyond the upgrade cycle, hardware just fails. SSDs are designed for 5 to 10 years. They degrade in 4 to 5 years under heavy gaming, when constant shader compilation and file shuffling eat away at the cells. You're looking at $80 to $150 for replacement. Power supply capacitors fail by year 4 or 5 in budget units, year 7 to 10 in quality units, another $80 to $150 replacement. Cooling systems have hidden expiration dates. AIO liquid coolers last 5 to 7 years before pump failure forces $120 to $300 of replacement. Air coolers need thermal paste reapplication, $10 to $30 every 2 to 3 years. And cooling system failure cascades. A burst AIO floods the motherboard. Now you're rebuilding for $500 or more.
Peripherals wear independently. Mechanical keyboard switches last 10 to 20 million clicks, 3 to 5 years of heavy use. Replacement keycaps cost $50 to $200, or you buy a new keyboard for $100 to $300. Gaming mice have the same 3 to 5 year click durability. Headsets suffer cable fraying and ear cup deterioration. Dust accumulation forces active maintenance every 3 to 6 months. Gaming cases pull 300 CFM or more through filters, settling dust on GPU and CPU cooler fins. This reduces thermal performance by 5 to 15% per neglected cleaning. It accelerates component aging. It forces earlier cooling replacement cycles. Monitor backlights degrade invisibly. A $300 gaming monitor loses 20 to 30% brightness by year 7 or 8 as the backlight ages. Replacement runs $200 to $400. Desk setup and cable management cost $200 to $500. Monitor arms, standing desk upgrades, cable trays, surge protectors, sunk costs that rarely recover resale value and are typically omitted from PC cost calculations entirely.
VRAM obsolescence is invisible until it's not. A GPU with 8 GB of VRAM was mid-range in 2020. By 2024, even budget games require 12 GB or more in high settings. Cards that seemed future-proof 4 years ago are relegated to lower settings or resolution compromises. They work fine, but the ecosystem is leaving them behind. Older drivers stop receiving optimization updates. Games stop officially supporting older GPUs. Driver bloat means security patches require more GPU memory and bandwidth. Old hardware becomes functionally slower, not through degradation, through abandonment. Warranty coverage expires at year 3 to 5 for most components. Anything failing after that point is a full replacement with no recovery. GPU warranty is often shorter, 2 to 3 years, than CPU warranty. This creates staggered replacement pressure throughout your PC's lifespan. You're always something that's out of warranty. So the economics, how does PC actually stack up?
Gaming on PC remains economically defensible against console gaming over 5 years. A PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X costs $500 upfront. Games cost $60 to $70 each, versus $20 to $40 on Steam sales. Online services run $60 to $120 yearly. Total for equivalent play, $1,400 to $2,000, barely less than PC. The console's simpler value prop masks identical true costs. Cloud gaming services promise to sidestep ownership entirely. GeForce Now, Game Pass, Xbox Cloud Gaming. No depreciation, no electricity, $10 to $20 monthly. That's $600 to $1,200 over 5 years. But it